Welcome back to Burn Barrel, and today we are going to be reviewing Virgin Bourbon. This bottle was made at Meadow Lawn Distilling Company, which is located in Bardstown, Kentucky. Even though this says Meadow Lawn Distilling Company, this is actually made by Heaven Hill, particularly for international markets. This particular bottle used to have a 7-year age-dated version, but it was scrapped and just replaced with this regular 101 proof bottle. What makes this bottle unique is that it goes through the Lincoln County process, also known as charcoal filtering. This allows the whiskey to have a more smooth and mellower taste to it on the palate. Jack Daniel's infamously uses this process and made it very popular, and you don't really see it among Kentucky bourbons, and this is one of the few. Although this is not really around anymore and made for international markets, you can still find it in the US. And now, let's get right to the review. So I've gone ahead and poured up some of the Virgin Bourbon here, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So first of all, the color here is a little lighter. So this has a little bit of a lighter color to it, and unfortunately for this one, this is not an age-dated product. The only thing we know about the age is that it's a straight bourbon whiskey, so it's got to be at least 2 years. But besides that, we don't have a clue. However, there used to be, if you're watching this, some of I can't remember how long, maybe a few years ago, there used to be a age-dated version of this, the 7-year Virgin Bourbon. And that one was, had the age on it. There also used to be a 15-year, I believe, that was a little older than that. So this used to be a more definitive product out there on the shelves that had a multiple age statements, just kind of a shelf staple, like kind of thing. And I'm not really sure what's happened. There's a lot of history with it. And I believe this is owned by Heaven Hill. So they may have just decided to go away from it and go to another direction. But this one, at least in the present day, doesn't have an age statement. Now, they could bring back the 7-year, which would be super nice, but we'll have to see where that goes. But as it stands right now, this is not age dated, so the color on this is a little lighter, but I assume it's going to be at least 2 to 4 years, somewhere in that range. It could be more, I'm not really sure, but at least 2. But the color on this is a little lighter. It's not like super light, like very, very young, but I wouldn't say it's also super old either. Decent color, but nothing to kind of like lose your mind over. So anyway, let's just get right into the nose of this one. So the nose on this one is, again, a little bit lighter, but it presents a little bit of those darker notes. Like, I'm getting a little dark notes on it, but I'm not getting the strength of like the dark color on this. So like, I'm getting brown, like a darker brown sugar, but it's light. Like, the actual strength of it is light, but it is like a brown sugary note. I'm getting like a little vanilla too, so it's almost reminiscent of like baking, like you're baking cookies, or you're baking just some sort of like dessert where you've got, like I said, you're using the brown sugar, using the vanilla extract. It kind of just smells like a kind of mixture, like a dough mixture like that. But it's light in a sense that you're just getting like a whiff secondhand from like another room, not directly in the kitchen type thing. But then I'm also getting like a little bit of a lemony, like citrusy, almost like a lemon zest, not like a straight up sugary lemonade or something like that. It's just like a light sprinkling of like lemon zest on it, because I'm getting like a little sharp, not sharpie, but like sharp notes along the top of it. And I think I'm getting like maybe orangey, lemony type of lemon zest. Just something a little brighter on the top, not just like deep and dark. But again, all of this together is just light. Like, this thing is not blowing me away in terms of like strength, but I do like the notes. The notes are really good. It's just the strength of this is average at best, if not maybe a little lighter than average. But again, the notes themselves are not bad at all. Like, I'm very much enjoying it, just a little light for me. But let's just go ahead and get right into the palate. Oh wow, that's actually kind of surprising. So on the palate, I'm getting something that's a little different than I got on the nose. So the nose
Granted, it was a little lighter, but I'm getting a little bit more strength on the palate than I thought I would. And I think it has to do with just because this is a 101 proof, and it's a charcoal filtered product. So you're gonna have, I guess, smooth. I know that's kind of a weird word to use in like the whiskey community, but it is gonna be a little smoother, more mellow, I guess, just because it is charcoal filtered. It's just a different process to do that. And I would say that's very true here. I think with the 101 proof, I really think that's carrying it a little bit, because I'm getting, like on the front, I was getting like a little bit of like, almost like a root beer note. Let me get another taste. Yeah, I would say root beer, like a little root beery. I guess the sassafras is what that would be. But just, it tastes like vaguely, like, I'm not saying like this is straight up like Barks or A&W, like I'm not going that far, but like it's reminiscent of like the aftertaste of drinking root beer, like a little bit of just that distinct root beer flavor on there. And I'm getting a little bit of that, not only the root beer, I'm getting like maybe some caramelly, vanilla, a little extra sweetness on there, just besides like a root beer. And it's really nice, actually. I'm getting a little bit of that oak on the end of it as well. It's like a sweeter oak. It's not like a bittery oak. Like, it's not punchy. I don't feel like it's super bittery or drying or anything like that, but I do think the oak is definitely there a little bit. Yeah, definitely a little oak. You can definitely tell it's a little younger. Like, you can definitely tell there's a little bit of an infancy to this product. It's not like a deep, mature oak. It's not something that's going to be tipping you off of like, wow, this thing has been in the barrel for years. You know, it's not going to do anything like that. But I do think that the oak there, even though it is a little younger, I actually do think it works really well together with the rest of it. Because typically when I've had younger products, typically like the oak on the end of the palate to me, will just kind of just offset all the good on the front of the palate with just some almost rancid, but really just like very punchy, very out there young oak, and it's just not well developed. Like, it has good bones to it, but it's just not there yet. This, however, I still think the oak could be improved, but I don't think the oak takes away from anything on this palate. I actually think the oak is a decent addition to it without it being a main player, or without it being so young that it just disrupts the rest of the flavors. It's actually quite nice. I'm actually very surprised of how good, or how much I'm enjoying this product for what it is. And let me see if I can get another taste real quick. Yeah, and I would say that there's not a lot of depth to it. Like, you're not gonna get a lot of developing flavors. As I'm tasting it, all of those notes that I got on the palate just kind of continue on to the finish until it just dissipates. It's got like a medium length finish. Nothing super long, I would say. It's not like just keeping on and on. Like, the palate is kind of washed out now, but it's not like immediate where like it's gone. So I think the crux of this one, of what I am not a fan of, but like the reason it wouldn't be too high on my list of like ratings, would be because, you know, the notes on the nose are a little bit lighter. You know, there's a lack of depth. You get like those few notes, and that's about it. It doesn't kind of transform or anything like that, which is not a bad thing. It's just, for the most part, not as desirable as something that would be, you know, developing and evolving as you taste it. It's got that little bit of a young oak, but again, that's not terrible for the way that it happens to be in this palate. So overall, I think for me, this is about a 5 or a 6, somewhere in there. I think this is about average, or even like a slightly above average, just because of, I really think the proof's doing a lot here, a lot of heavy lifting. Because again, it's a 101 proof, it's a straight bourbon whiskey, charcoal filtered. So you know you're gonna get a little bit of that almost Jack Daniels-esque. If you've had Jack Bonnet, I assume it may be similar just because of the charcoal filtering and the proof wise, but it could be a little bit different just because this is a Kentucky product versus a Tennessee product, and it's obviously a different distiller, different mash bills, things like that. But you can draw some similarities between them. So again, about a 5 or a 6 for me. This one's especially if you consider the price. The price on this one is about $18, maybe at most 18. I believe I paid 18 for this. So for $18, like this, as long as it doesn't suck, I'm gonna like be 2 thumbs up for that. And this is definitely not bad at all. This is actually pretty decent. So again, if you can find this, which I believe anyways, the distribution on this is fairly limited, not because it's allocated or it's just, I think just how it is. But I was able to find it in a store near me. So if you are able to find this, or if you tried it, you'll let me know what you think down below, and I think you'll come to appreciate it. But if you haven't, I think if you can find this is gonna be a must try at this price.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this review of Virgin Bourbon. As always, I've left a summarized version of this review down in the description below. While you're down there, be sure to leave a comment if you've been able to try this bottle or if you even found it. Also, don't forget to check out the videos on screen and some of the other reviews I've done on this channel as well. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time here on Bird and Barrel.